So, the Miami Heat, the slept-on team at times. The grit and grind culture makes their players go hard, and you can see that translate directly onto the court. Coming up just short against the Celtics in Game 7, the Heat had an amazing season but couldn't get the job done. Going into this next season, the Heat will be out for revenge. And with a roster as deep as theirs, there's plenty of talent that's ready to flourish even more after seeing success last season. Being one of the main keys to this team, Jimmy Butler tried willing the team to the finals with his relentlessness, but his efforts weren't enough. It's always the postseason where we see Butler take his game up another notch, unlike the regular season where Jimmy can just not look so good at times. But nonetheless, Butler brings great value to this team, putting up averages of 21 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals a game. Jimmy is a two-way threat and offers a tremendous amount of versatility when on the court. Whether you need him to lead the offense and set the tone, or put on the clamps and lock up, Jimmy is there to do so. The only thing about Butler is that he isn't the most consistent player throughout the regular season, which can really throw a team off. Not knowing whether or not your supposed star is going to show up and lead you or play poorly this night is something you don't want ideally. With 57.2% of Butler's shot diet coming from within 10 feet, Butler converts these at a 56.2% clip, and that's where we see most of Butler's success offensively. Not depending on strictly athleticism, Butler is smart with his decisions and has great footwork around the basket and mid-range area. In my humble opinion, the greatest value of Butler's game is his defensive intensity. With his ability to anticipate exactly what the offensive player's next move is when he is on ball is purely astonishing. Getting up into Brown so the screen is non-effective, then staying with him to lead him into this double, then releases out quickly to block Tatum's three-point attempt. Jimmy loves to suffocate the ball handler as well as he does to Harden here by staying in his dribble pocket with active hands and then stays connected to James on his attack to the rim to send this shot back. Running through passing lanes is another big strength for Butler as he has great timing and precise vision to track the ball down in mid-flight. As KCP comes off this handoff, Butler anticipates the pass to Beal and runs right through it. This play shows the awareness and IQ of Butler as he stops this LeBron roll so Duncan can get back, and then he recovers out to Melo to steal this pass for the Martin dunk on the other end. The defense of Butler rubs off into this team, and during the offseason, I believe the chemistry will improve even more to make this defense move even better as a unit. If Jimmy could get more opportunities to ISO aside with him and Bam and just go to work off pick and rolls, it would be highly effective, as Bam is a force down low and he can also stop and hit mid-range jumpers at times. Bam seems to be inside his head at times and isn't aggressive at the rim or in his approach altogether. But when he puts his mind to it, Bam Adebayo is more than capable of making a great impact on this team. Every year Bam has improved his scoring totals, and this year he accomplished it once again with averages of 19 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and a career high of 1.4 steals a game. Bam was more than impressive on both ends of the floor this past season, and I think he will only build from here on out. Already being a paint dominant scorer where 69% of his shots come from in 10 feet, Bam has an effective rate of 63%, so he is more than dependable when getting to his spots. Next year, I believe we will see more of Bam pushing the ball up the floor off rebounds or in just transition, as he does have a decent enough handle and is able to clear the lane when attacking downhill. Pushing at Horford, Bam hits him with the in and out to get the step on him and finishes across the lane with the left hand. Although Lowry was the one that came in and took some of the playmaking chances away from Bam and Jimmy Butler, I think it would help with the pace more if Bam has opportunities to just grab and go. This offseason, if he works on tightening the handle and works more on his outside shot, offensively Bam will be an even better scoring threat. Just as Jimmy, Bam is a defensive anchor on this team as well and was one of the best two-way centers in the league. Missing 27 games this past year is what put him out of winning Defensive Player of the Year, but if he had played those games, it could have been a different story. Holding opponents to 32% shooting and 35 effective field goal shooting when guarded by him landed him at 13 and 10 in the league in both those categories. Being able to switch on the guards and stay up with them is so valuable for any team, and this is a key reason why the Heat won't trade him away, as some people do want him to be traded. Setting up Herro, Duncan, Strus, and other shooters on this team is something Bam does very well. Tyler Herro would be the one we key in on. The reigning 6th man of the year put up 20 points, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds, while shooting 44% from the field and 39% from the 3 on nearly 7 attempts. So the starting role is definitely something in his future as PJ Tucker has left. Improving from his last seasons, we've seen Herro tighten up the handle more and score the ball in many different scenarios, whether it was pull-ups, isoing at times, or just off the catch. What will help this Heat team jump to the next level is Herro becoming a reliable decision maker when on the court. He already has the confidence to go out there and shoot the big shots, but setting up teammates and making the right plays down the stretch of games is one thing that will elevate his game to the next level. We all know his defense is a large issue as he is a target for a lot of teams, but I won't really harp on that too much because we simply know that if he works on that aspect of his game, it will inherently improve this team. He doesn't need to be at the level of Jimmy and Bam, but he needs to be able to stay with his man and not rely on help in rotations. This puts the defense at a disadvantage with the scrambling around the court. Paired in the backcourt with Lowry, if they can build chemistry setting each other up for easier shots and looks at the rim, it'll help this offense flow even better. Having one of the worst shooting seasons in the most recent years, Lowry really wasn't that present, putting up 13 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, and 1 steal a game. Now, although he wasn't really a threat when it came to scoring and took a step back on the amount of shots he attempted, Lowry's paint presence was very good for an undersized guard in the league. When the Heat's offense got stale, Kyle was great at making something out of nothing, which is a great sign for next season. His offensive game is slowly going to regress or plateau in my opinion, due to his role shifting more into the conductor of this offense. Setting up teammates and taking the pressure off Jimmy and Bam and others to create their own shot is where his value arises. This team has multiple shooters who can move off ball and players who can cut to the basket. This is where Lowry will need to be creative when decision making and find the openings. Due to injuries, he couldn't give much throughout the playoffs and he is getting quite older, so it has people questioning how well will he do for this team going forward. If he leans his game on his playmaking skills along with his pesky defense, I think he will still be a good asset to this team for the near future. The rest of this roster is filled with shooters, shot creators, and all-around good role players that we all know of. The Heat just had to come up short, but I think they have a chance to come back strong next year and make some noise. With a healthy team and the chemistry improving more, things could get really scary in South Beach. In the comments, let's talk about all the role players that helped this team out a lot, such as Duncan Robinson, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, and Victor Oladipo. And also, how do you think this Heat team will do next season? If you want to see another team that is going to make some noise next year, you have to check out this Minnesota Timberwolves video, or you can see why the DeJounte Murray trade will help out the Hawks. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.